What's up, winners? Today we're bringing you a Leona support gameplay down bottom. I'm going to try and kind of do this in one run, so if I slip up with my words a little bit, I apologize. This game is really cool, though. We've actually got a Blitz Star lane down bottom, and so this lane can be very challenging, and it's actually a legitimate lane. I believe CLG ran it a few times, and Doublelift and Chowster have both said that they believe that Season 3 is really going to come down to that double bruiser meta. And with the combined CC of both Blitzcrank and Alistar, they can really tear apart a lane if they are able to really coordinate their CCs. And so this game I actually picked Leona because I think Leona is an incredibly fun support, and Leona Corki does a ton of damage, and I really thought that she would be able to peel these the double bruisers off of the Corki well enough that Corki could poke them, and we could win this lane. And so the goal with this lane is you definitely want to try and poke them as much as you can. So like right there, Alistar took 3 auto attacks of free damage. That's definitely not what you want to do if you're on the Blitz Star side. You want to basically get your 2 skills as fast as you can, so Blitzcrank's Q and E with your Power Fist and your pull, and you want to get your Headbutt and your Pulverize as Alistar. And so right there, yeah, he got a Pulverize off on, but he got it on me, so Corki was able to get another auto attack in. But yes, as the Blitz Star lane, you want to get your skills and then just go all in the moment that you have creep advantage. So basically, if you have a cannon creep and they don't, it's a pretty good time to go in. As the ranged carry lane, you definitely want to poke as much as you can while staying safe. So right there was a perfect example of what you could do. Is Corki got the Q on both of them, and it's just auto-attacking every chance he has. If he misses a creep or two, that's alright, because you really need to establish lane dominance as soon as you can as the ranged carry. Because if you get them low enough to the point where they can't even all in, then they have no option, because they don't poke. Their lane isn't a poking lane. So if you get them to the point where even if Blitzcrank lands a super good hook, or even if Alistar lands a super good headbutt, pulverize, or pulverize headbutt, whatever way. And so just 1 second here, we're going to slow down this fight. So right here, you can see that Blitzcrank pulled me in, used his Power Fist on me. Alistar actually got a pretty nice pulverize on, except for the problem is 3 CCs have been used on me, so Corki has just been able to do free rain damage. So I throw my Zenith Blade out there, Corki flashes in, and this is good communication from the support and the ranged carry, and so I'm able to Zenith Blade in, get the Sunlight debuff on him, he gets another auto attack, gets the first blood. And now we're up on this Blitzcrank, and it's a 2-on-1 situation. The Blitzcrank doesn't have his cooldowns, so he gets 1 Power Fist, which gives him just a little bit of time, but he realizes at this point he has no cooldowns. His pull isn't going to be up. He's not going to be able to get those auto attacks off to kill Corki before we kill him. So he flashes away, and we're chasing, we're getting the chase on, and I'm about to pop my W here because the AoE damage will be enough to do a little bit of damage to him. My Q's almost up, or my Q's up right now, so I just need to get close enough, so I flash in, I Q him, I auto attack, I have the Sunlight debuff on him, so the Corki's auto attack just a little bit more damage. My AoE blows up, I throw another auto attack on, and then Corki gets the auto attack for the second kill. So I really liked that fight there because it kind of, well, okay, it was a really good fight for us. Why? Because they used their CC on the support, which is what you can't do. If he had pulled me in to start the fight, and then immediately switched targets to Corki once he had come into range, then that would have been a good fight for them. However, since he pulled me in and then instinctively just Power Fisted me right away, Corki had nothing to worry about. He could just auto attack for free. Yes, Alistar got off a pretty good pulverize that if maybe they had an advantage in lane, then they would have been able to do something off of. But unfortunately for them, we had been poking, or I guess Corki had been poking them a ton, so we already had the advantage going into that fight, and that was kind of a desperate move by the Blitzcrank. I think it was more of a, I hope I can land a hook, or else I'm not using my hooks. So at this point, Corki has 2 kills. He comes back to lane with a Vamp Scepter, which is Longsword into Vamp Scepter, so he's got 10 attack damage, 10% lifesteal, and he has a Doran's Blade. He's got 3 health pots and a Boots of Speed, and I come back to lane with my Philosopher's Stone, and I put a Ward in the bush because that's incredibly important when you're laning against something like a Blitz Star, is to always have vision on them. And so I still have my forward. I could have used that earlier in the lane. It actually would have been really useful. But they weren't really taking that much advantage of the bushes in the beginning, so I didn't really feel I needed to. And so Alistar here was actually roaming, and we did call that out. Actually, in this game, I was in Skype with all of the players except the Nidalee, and so we just let the Nidalee go top because she said that was her best role, and so we said, okay. And so we've got Talon mid, and so we warned Talon that Alistar was coming. And so right here, as you can see, if I go in and absorb all the CC, then Corki can basically put down a ton of free damage. And Amumu was coming in there. Maybe I jumped the gun a little bit, but I saw Alistar was a little bit more than half health. And if I go in, then they're instantly like, oh, I want to get all the damage off on this support here. And so right here, I get baited a little bit. Fiora comes in, but however, Amumu is coming in, so I fall back a little bit. But I know that I can still stay in the general area just in case something goes wrong. And so the tower hits the mummy, and we just kind of back off there. And luckily we were able to get the Fiora, their jungler who's coming in for that gank. And so it actually turned out pretty well for us, and that was just me taking a bunch of brunt of the damage and then backing off because I am pretty tanky. Alright, so we're just going to go back here, and I'm just going to show you what my reasoning here was. So if you can see here, Corki has full health. I have a little more than half health. Blitzcrank has a little more than half health. I know I can tank this tower, so I activate my W to give me the armor and magic resist. I come in, I use my Zenith Blade, I auto attack, I use my Q, my W pops, and Corki's just getting free damage because the tower is targeting me. Blitzcrank tries to pull off a desperate hook in the very last second to try and pull me in, which would have killed me because the tower would have gotten an extra hit off on me as well as the damage from the Q. But luckily, he died before the pull would have actually gone through. And it still would have been worth it even if the Blitzcrank got a kill, because that would have been another kill on the AD carry, and trading the kills between them is fine. And then they still would have lost a ton of creeps to the tower. So it was definitely a worthy tower dive since there was a ton of creeps there. And since it was the risk was all me dying. There was no risk for the Corki to die. So right here you can see I picked up Boots 5, and the reason I picked up Boots 5 is so that I can roam, because bot lane is completely won. And so right here I was hoping that Ryze would still be there, but he wasn't, so I just kind of back off. And I'm just kind of checking this area, because I see Ryze did come back. And so I'm like, okay, I throw my ult in. He actually turns around, dodges the ult, and I put my CC on him, and that's all I need to do. And then Talon picks up the kill pretty easy there. So this is something that you can do with a few different supports. You can easily do it with Blitzcrank Leona. Blitzcrank Leona, Taric, Alistar, all supports that you can easily do this. And so right here we've got a little bit of team fight going in. Talon easily picks up the Fiora. I'm fighting here because if they can take the damage off of me, if they can take the damage off the damage dealing people, then we'll be fine. And so right here we decided to turn the beat around real quick. Because if we can instantly give the gangplank coming in, then we've got a nice 4-on-2 situation. So right here, we picked up the double kill, and Corki's Valkyrie was down, so we weren't able to get the triple kill there. But that's just pure communication, and a lot of that comes from the fact that we're all in Skype, so we're able to kind of shot call what's going on. Like we knew who. So right here, I was just auto attacking, or I mean, doing my taunt to fake an auto attack to make it so Talon couldn't go B. Just joking around with my friends. So right there, though, that's some serious shot calling. We knew Gangplank wasn't full health, so we knew that when we come in, we'd be able to chain the CC. Even with his oranges, we would be able to do enough damage to burst him down, and then Blitzcrank and Alistar would respond, and then we'd be able to kill them as well. It didn't go perfectly because we didn't get the third kill for Corki, but I think a double kill for Corki at 10 minutes in is not bad. So if you look at the stats here, it's currently 1-9. We're up 4k gold, and now we're looking, I think, to make a dragon play here. So I put the pink ward down. The reason I put it there is so now we can actually we actually have vision of this ward now, so we're going to be able to destroy that. If I put the ward here, I wouldn't be able to see that. So that's a little tip for you guys. If you're not worried about them warding inside the pit, just put the pink ward right here. And so we're going to pick up a pretty easy dragon here. They were pinging it because they knew we were doing it, but they couldn't really stop us. So that's the dominance that we've established, and that's just a general kind of rule when you're winning a lane, is just continue establishing dominance. And so right here, the Alistar made a big mistake, and Blitzcrank actually gets a pretty good pull off on Mummy, and so we're focusing the Alistar because he was the farthest away, and it looks like Mummy's going to die, but he actually does flash away. The Ignite was ticking on Alistar, but it wasn't quite enough to kill him, and so that's fine. The engage was a little risky, since Alistar did have his ult on. We could have turned the engage onto Blitzcrank, but I had already used a ton of CC on Alistar, so it wasn't my best choice. We should have started on the Blitzcrank, but I just kind of saw hero, kill hero kind of thing, so that was my bad. We should have focused the Blitzcrank instead of the Alistar, who had Unbreakable Will. And so we're actually, I mean, it looks like Corki died there. We can just check what happened there. So that was just, yeah, it just looks like good Blitzcrank pull into the Power Fist, into the ult, into the, yeah, so that was just a ton of CC. That was just getting hit by the pull. It happens. And so, what? Oh, so that's just a replay bug. He did get the 500 gold, this bonus. I think it's because of the fact that I jumped back 15 seconds, so. But that's okay. Corki went back to base and was able to, so now he's got a BF Sword, Zerker Greaves, Pickaxe, Vampiric Scepter, Doran's Blade. So it looks like he's going to go for that Infinity Edge first. And as you can see, my build here, I've got the Boots 5, the Philosopher's Stone, and the Kindle Gem. And so right here I'm just trying to CS, but I'm pretty garbage at CSing as a support. It's kind of difficult sometimes. As you can see here, I'm still maxing my E, and right here we've got a little fight going on, and so I missed my Zenith Blade, and so we keep following. He actually hits the Bandage Toss, so we're going to get ourselves a pretty free kill here. And so that was just the Blitzcrank being in the wrong place at the wrong time. We actually didn't kill that ward before, I guess. Maybe I missed that, whatever. But so that pink ward turned out to get us dragon and get us a nice kill. So those wards, pink wards are always good. Even with the new sight zone changes, pink wards are still really good because you can completely control part of the map. And so right here, I go a little big ball. I'm taking a ton of towers, so I'm gonna die here. Okay, so with that Blitzcrank in the beginning, how he pulled me, used all of his CC, that was the exact same situation, kind of, that I just went into there. I saw an opportunity to go for the Rise, but I didn't pay attention to my team's positioning. So because of that, we're going to get a little bit punished there by me dying. And so right now we've got a little 3-on-4 situation for our team. And so it looks like we're actually going to pick up the Alistar. And then, shoot, okay, so there we go. Talon died here, but then Nidalee ends up picking up another kill. Looks like she's actually going to try and get another kill on the Rise. And she gets close, but the Fiora comes in with the ulti. So that was me just kind of throwing that fight. That was me blowing all my CC on a Rise when my team wasn't ready, and that was just a bad move by me. I got a little too antsy, and so that's just something you need to do when you play a initiator type support, is just pay attention where your team is at all times. And that comes with initiators in general, but especially with a support initiator, because generally you're going to be a little less tanky than, say, a Malphite or an Amumu or someone like that who could blow their initiate and then just kind of walk away, or have more of a time window for the team to follow up. With Leona, I went in and I was dead pretty quick, especially because I was tanking tower. So that was all my mistake there. As you can see here, I picked up a Shurelya's, and the Shurelya's combined with Boots 5 makes it so my ganks are going to be unstoppable, basically. So I get a really nice ult there, and he's already used his oranges, so I was able to Zenith Blade in. And as you can see, I'm trying to follow, I'm trying to auto-attack move, and turns out my ganks weren't unstoppable there. And the Nidalee is chasing there. Sorry about that. And so she actually, that would have been really pretty, that would have been pretty sick if the headbutt pushed him over the wall and then the Blitzcrank pulled him back. But no, it actually kind of saved the Nidalee there. And so Talon comes in, and Mummy actually steals the kill, but Talon does a ton of damage there. Blitzcrank's almost dead. I'm chasing in, I get headbutted away, so I'm not able to lock any skills onto that Blitzcrank, so we're just kind of diving the Alistar, and it's a pretty easy kill. Mummy looks like he's going for it, but Blitzcrank pulls and misses, so we're going to get ourselves a pretty free tower here while Corki farms bot lane. And so what I was doing there with the gank with GP, I was trying to auto attack move, but it wasn't quite enough since I don't really have a lot of damage. And I started with my ultimate because it would allow me to, it would buy me enough time to get close enough where I could hit my other CCs. So right here, we just kind of blow everything on GP to get a nice little tower dive here. Then Fiora comes in from the back, uses her ulti, doesn't really do a whole lot of damage. So we kind of turn the focus on, but we're all really low mana. And except the Amumu has a little bit of mana. So I throw my ulti down, and we're really just struggling here. This is not a fight we want to be in. So we end up losing both Amumu and me, and that was just poor, I think, team communication there. So Talon's actually gonna kind of distract and able to pick up the Blitzcrank there, and that was just kind of a trading a 1-for-1, which, I mean, is okay. We both got assists for it. And then Italy is going to be able to get away there. And looks like she's actually going to try and fight the Alistar here. And so with her Cougar form, she does damage based on missing health, so she thought she'd be able to pull it off there, but that actually gave vision to the Rise to come in and hit her with the skills to get that kill here. So the game's going like pretty well for us. We're up 10,000 gold, or 8,000 gold rather, about. And it's 10-17 while we're in the lead, and we actually got a huge push there from Corki. He actually exposed the inhibitor, excuse me. And Nidalee's got a Triforce, Amumu's got a Spirit of the Ancient Golem, Corki's got the Infinity Edge Zeal. I actually upgraded my my Boots 5 into the Distortion just so I'd be able to get my Flash up more often, and the reason I did that is for those flash initiates. They're pretty good. So with Shirelia's and Boots 5, that's going to be one form of initiate. It's just moving really freaking fast and then getting my skill off. Another more instant form of initiation is going to be that. So like right here, move really, really fast. We get the ulti off. I go on to Blitzcrank, and we just basically melt them. Blitzcrank has a little bit of help from his mana shield. Fiora comes in, and so right now I'm just trying to peel off Fiora from this Nidalee as best as I can. And Talon sees here that we're able to pick him off. And Amumu actually dies there, trying to kind of keep them separated. And maybe Amumu should have been with us, but if Amumu wouldn't have been holding them off, then it would have been a more direct team fight. And they have a ton of CC, so it would have been could have gone a little worse. So right there, that was me being a little balls deep. If I would have connected, it would have been pretty bad for me. And so he actually Shirelia's in, Alistar comes in, hits the headbutt on Corki to actually push him away from the Pulverize. So Corki's still able to get a ton of damage in here. Corki's getting melted, but we do pick off the Rise, and so we're just fighting, trying to kill the Gangplank. Before Corki died, we were able to actually get that kill there. And so now it's a pretty easy push onto this tower. As you can see, I put another point into my queue. I think that was just me staggering my points a little bit. Not really necessary. And so right here, Fiora's going all in on this Nidalee, so I activate my Shirelia's to give her a little bit more move speed, and then I jump in with my Zenith Blade, but now she's walked herself into a 1-on-4 situation, and I think she thought she'd be able to nuke that Nidalee down pretty fast and then escape, but since she only has the Wriggles Phage and then a little bit of AD from the Longswords, she doesn't have that really hard-hitting assassination power if she had, say, like a Black Cleaver or a Bloodthirster or a Last Whisper plus something else, or like Brutalizer. So she definitely underestimated or overestimated her damage there. And so we get ourselves a free dragon, then we go back and I actually get myself an Aegis of the Legion, get myself a Sightstone and a ward, so we can kind of go ward up Baron and see if we can make a play there. Nidalee's finally able to, not finally, excuse me, Nidalee's able to kill that Gangplank there. I Shirelia's in to try and save this Nidalee, and I'm actually doing a ton of damage. Well, I'm not doing a ton of damage. I held the Alistar there for a very long time so that the tower could really do work there, and then Talon rips apart the Rise, and Corki comes in to get that last minute DPS to get the kill there. And I'm calling for a Shirelia's there, and then I realized I had already used mine to try and catch up to the Nidalee to save her, so we're not able to actually catch the fleeing Alistar there. And so right here I ward up Baron, and In a second here, you'll see me wasting wards with my Sightstone, and that was just because I was testing out the Sightstone. I was confused because I thought it had 3 maximum slots, but it's only 2 for the normal Sightstone. The Ruby Sightstone gives you 3 maximum, so it actually gets rid of your first ward that you placed. And so right here, we've got a pretty risky team fight going on. They come in with the 3 of us. We have 4 of us, but we were pretty weak in taking Baron aggro. So Blitzcrank gets a double kill here. We're trying to struggle this fight here. I back off, I flash away, and then Talon is actually able to get a triple kill, and then we're just like, back up, dude. The Baron's completely regened his health. And Alistar comes in to try and pick off something here. I use my my ultimate and then just back off. He flashes to probably go for the headbutt on me, but it just wasn't quite enough. And then Ryze actually comes in here, so it's just a really staggered team fight. Talon ults, holds the ult as long as he can to get that stealth, buy a little bit of time here, but he's still sticking around for just in case to get the assassinate. And he pulls the rake in, and if the rake would have come back, it would have gotten the kill. And the Nidalee missed the spear by a half an inch. So many situations there where Ryze would have died, but it just wasn't quite enough. So that Baron call, they caught us when we were going for the Baron, and we saw them coming up, and we probably should have just jumped off the Baron immediately and fought them instead of waiting for them to fight us in the Baron pit. But it wasn't that bad because they didn't get the Baron, and we still have over a 10,000 gold lead. So this game's looking like it's just a get Baron or a force a Baron fight and then push through. And we have an open inhibitor down bottom. So that pressure is always there, so they always need to be clearing bottom, or else it's just going to push into that inhibitor. So we've actually got a blue team pinging back the Alistar that's coming through there. And so right now we've just got a little bit of Baron's Dance coming on. We just need to get Talon in here because Talon actually is 8-4 and 8. He's got a Bloodthirster and a Black Cleaver, so he does a ton of damage. Corki does have that Infinity Edge. Phantom Dancer also has a ton of damage. Nidalee has that Triforce and Brutalizer, so she's got a good amount of damage as well. And Mummy has, you know, as a jungler, doesn't have as much gold, has that Abyssal and that Spirit item of the Ancient Golem. So right here, we catch the Blitzcrank out, and I'm about to get a super good ult here, I think. No, didn't get it. Never mind, this is bad. Cut the tape. I didn't get that good of an ult here, so we're actually gonna just we're gonna start this fight over, and we're gonna go through this in slow motion here. So we see them ward here. We see 3 of them moving in here. So we're just trying to Nidalee tried to poke here. Nidalee actually never went back from before, so she still has low health, but she does have her heal. So we're just gonna play this kind of catch here in slow motion. So we catch the Blitzcrank here with my Zenith Blade. I use my stun on him, and we're just trying to pick him off before the fight even starts. As you can see here, Amumu actually gets the bandage toss on Ryze because Ryze is more of a priority target. I use my ult to try and take out the Ryze, and as you can see here, nobody's really peeling for Corki, so this isn't the best fight. Corki Valkyrie's over to cut the aggro, and right now we're just trying to focus these people when we really should have stayed back and tried to focus this Fiora. So I'm trying to kill this Blitzcrank. GP puts the ulti on us. We kill the Blitzcrank. Now we need to turn on to the next target, which should be either the Gangplank or the Fiora, even though Alistar's low. Alistar's not going to do a whole lot. Fiora is coming in to assassinate this Nidalee, and there's not much she can do to stop that. So right now we turn on this Gangplank. We let the Alistar retreat, and we're able to get the kill on Gangplank there. Fiora turns around for some reason, thinking she can maybe kill us. Quickly realizes she can't. I throw the Zenith Blade, get the stun off on her. She's stuck there. There's no way she's getting away. Talon picks up the kill. So that was a pretty cool team fight there. My ult wasn't as good as I thought it was. I think that might be later. I think maybe it wasn't even this game where I got off like a 3-man ult that really did well. And Talon really wants to pick off the Alistar here, so he flashes over the wall, blinks behind him, uses his rake, and gets the kill there. And so this is going to be a super free double inhib here. So we have Talon focusing this inhib, and then we're taking out this tower, and then we're going to get this inhib. So it's and that was just from them losing the fight, and then Fiora kind of threw away her body, so she wouldn't even be able to defend there. And so as you can see here, I'm 2-2 and 23, which I would say by support standards, it's I mean by any standards really, that's a pretty damn good score. If you look, we have 34 kills on our team. That means I was part of 25 out of 34 kills, and I'm keeping my deaths to a pretty low amount. And so I think right there we just had Corki and Talon trying to make a play there, and it just didn't really work out. And so right here I get the Runic Bulwark to kind of give a real bulk to our team. They don't have a whole lot of AP damage, except, well, I mean, it's like they don't have a huge... okay, so I guess they have a pretty standard amount of AP damage. The reason I say that is because Rise has a ton of AP damage and magic damage. And his AoE from his ult is going to do a ton of AoE damage. And if you look at their team, we're going to be pretty clumped up because of how their team works like, ideally, we don't want to be clumped up, but they're going to clump up. So that's just how their team works. So having... excuse me, I was just tripping over my words here. Having the Runic Bulwark is really going to help beef up my team, especially with Mummy. Mummy's Abyssal, and the Runic Bulwark is going to give him a ton of magic resist, so he can really take the brunt of the Rise, the Blitzcrank, the Alistar, all who do magic damage, the majority at least, except for the Power Fist. And so right here we've got the Gangplank, and like I was talking about, we got a really super group team fight here, and the Gangplank ulti's coming down, and the Runic Bulwark is actually going to help a lot in reducing the magic damage taken from the Gangplank ult, which actually adds up quite a bit. And so right there we've only lost Talon, and we actually get the Rise, the Blitzcrank, the Fiora, and it looks like the Gangplank and Alistar are actually going to get away, but this is going to be a pretty free push here. We could have gone for game here, but I made the call to just play it safe and go for the third inhibitor. And then when Nidalee disconnected, we kind of panicked here, and we wanted to just kind of end the game at this point, because if Nidalee wasn't coming back, then we needed to finish this as quick as we could. And right here we're actually about to end the game. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button. What I want to hear from you guys is, who is your favorite support to play? I think Blitzcrank is my favorite support to play, just because you just get those god hands and it's super fun, but I think Leona is definitely a close second. So I'd like to know from you guys, who's your favorite support to play, and do you enjoy playing support? If you enjoyed the video, like I said, be sure to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and as always, stay classy and keep winning.